Okay, we'll get started. Good morning, everybody. It is update meeting number 15. Just a reminder that we are recording these and we'll post them to the website after the meeting, and the slides will be posted to the website. So meeting number 15, we're recording October 16th, 2025 for the Vernon Avenue and Highway 100 Interchange project. Again, thank you for your patience. Businesses are open and accessible. There continues to be noise, dust, vibrations, and other construction-related stuff. Be safe, stop for pedestrians and crosswalks. Be courteous to fellow drivers. Those mini roundabouts get very busy, especially during school pickup and drop-off times. And again, there's some various mid-block crossings and other crosswalks within the area, so use the ones you feel most comfortable using with the increased traffic along Eden Avenue. Goals of the project: improve safety and mobility of all users, create these new separated pedestrian routes, improve traffic operations, consolidate access points on 100, and improve connectivity and limit construction impacts by merging county and city projects into one. And again, we're all familiar with this, but this is the project area. Starts west of Interlochen Boulevard, includes the Interlochen Vernon Gus Young interchange, then the Vernon Avenue Bridge over CPKC Rail, continuing to the east, new intersections on each side of Highway 100 with new traffic signals, the new bridge over Highway 100 that will carry Vernon and 50th Street. And then on the east side, it's going to tie into the work that the city did last year on 50th near Grange with a new aligned off-ramp of Highway 100. Instead of exiting on the Grange, you will now exit on 50th Street. We've been communicating in many different methods throughout this project, and we will continue to do that through this fall and next year when we start talking about schedule here. But Better Together Edina website is the best location for project updates, for documents, for maps, those sorts of things. So again, check it out. We have a couple more bi-weekly meetings coming up in 2 and 4 weeks, and continue to check out the website for more information. Now we'll get into specific construction schedule details and stuff that's occurred and show some pictures and stuff like that. So if we look at this interchange at Interlochen and Vernon and Gus Young, this has been free flowing for months now. The Gus Young has been closed. They are installing a crane there today, I think, or yesterday, but the crane will be going up to assist with that west abutment work, so that Gus Young needs to stay closed while the crane is located there. So there'll be no changes in the short term to this intersection. We recently, over a month ago, closed all the on and off ramps of 100. That's created some challenges for people traversing through the district. This is stage 4, and the project is on schedule to open the Highway 100 bridge and these on and off ramps mid-November. We are currently still on track for mid-November to re-establish the access on and off Highway 100 at this location. What is not on schedule, which we've been talking about for months now, is the west abutment of the Vernon Avenue Bridge. So we are looking to the west. So you can see the holiday sign, the caribou in the background. They have started work. The old abutment's finally removed. Excel has relocated the power line that was in the way. So we did discuss with the contractor over the last couple of weeks, could we accelerate this project and get the bridge open? And they came up with various options and cost, and they ranged anywhere from $500,000 to $2.3 million. And even at that high end, there was only the ability to get the bridge temporarily open for about 6 weeks in February and March. There's just too much concrete work, too much work to do, that the acceleration really would not provide much benefit. It'd be 6 weeks on some temporary concrete that would have to be removed, be very expensive, and then it would have to be shut down again in April to finish the project. So the city and the county did not see this as a reasonable cost escalation for the benefit. Cost just did not provide enough benefit. So Ames is going to continue to work through the fall as long as weather allows. They will demobilize equipment on that side, and then operations will come back in April pending weather. So again, weather dependent, we're throwing April in there. We'll see how the winter is. We are requiring them to reopen Gus Young Lane once there's room to have safe traffic operations. So there will be a temporary traffic signal installed on that corner to allow people from Interlochen heading south to go straight south to access the Grandview parking ramp, to access Devani's, the Vernon Shops area, Edina Liquor. So we anticipate that to be late November, early December, roughly, when we know more dates. Again, it's weather dependent. We will let people know, and that'll be open through the winter. And once they got to remob the crane and other equipment in April, roughly, then we would most likely have to reclose that intersection to create space for them to work. The new bridge is estimated to be complete in the midsummer next year in 2026. Again, how much they can get done this year is weather dependent. When they can start again in the spring is weather dependent. So we're estimating, just saying midsummer at this point. Once those schedules are more locked in next April, we would have much better dates to share with the public, and we will do that. And the other factor on this whole issue is cost. We don't know what the cost impacts are going to be because we're going to track the contractor's work when they restart up in the spring and see what would be typically part of the normal project and what would not. And we'll track those things to determine what kind of cost overruns we're going to have related to this power line issue. Other schedule details. So the northbound High 100 on-ramp, the noise wall planks are going to be starting very soon. Concrete curb, you saw the curb, and I'll show you some pictures. The new curb along the on and off ramps was completed. The curb along Vernon for a big portion of the project was completed. Tie into Arcadia. They're working on a lot of flat work in the medians and sidewalks and stuff like that. Asphalt paving is scheduled for next week. We did determine there's enough room in the medians to plant some trees. So on the west side, on the Vernon Avenue side, there is space to stay out of any sightline issues with the signals, and space for maintenance vehicles for both MnDOT and the county and the city, all three parties, to do maintenance, and still plant 10 trees. So we're going to plant 10 trees in the center median on the Vernon side, on the west side. The median on 50th Street is a little tighter and smaller and has some sightline issues that we got to make sure we keep open for that new signal system. We have space to plant 3 trees on that side. So in total, there's going to be 13 trees planted within the medians on both sides of the High 100 bridge. And sidewalks and signal pole bases, stuff like that continues to be installed this week, last week, this week, and the week moving forward. And then just some pictures. So again, the intersection here at Interlochen and Vernon has not changed. It's free flowing with traffic. The picture on the left is the east abutment of the Vernon Avenue Bridge, and it's been in that state for a while. And the picture on the right is progress on the west abutment. The old one's been removed. They're protecting the slope from the rain, and they will be in there starting to put up forms to build a mirror image of what you're seeing on the left-hand picture on the right side. Some more pictures. Here's a signal base being drilled in to install a traffic signal base. You can see the concrete curb was installed. This is next to Washburn McGravy and that land and stone wall that's there. Picture on the right is looking back towards Hawthorne Court. See the new curb there around Arcadia with the Devani's in the back left. So continuing to do the curb and the flat work. This picture is looking north down the new High 100 ramp. So again, the curb was installed and they're getting ready for paving next week. And you can see the noise wall posts have been installed along that corridor, and those planks will be starting very soon. And then on the Highway 100 bridge itself, so they poured the deck, but now they need to construct the barriers on the sides and the median down the center, the sidewalk. So you're looking at the sidewalk here on the south side of the bridge heading towards City Hall. There'll be railings installed on top of that barrier as we move forward. So they're doing some of that additional flat work on top of that bridge as we speak. And again, this is the renderings of what it looks like afterwards. The one on the left is looking towards Hawthorne Court in the background. The new sidewalks and bridge and turn lanes. The one on the right is heading northbound 100, what it would look like from the highway side. With that, I'm going to stop sharing. And if there's any questions, please use the chat. And we'll work through those questions as they pop up in the chat. Again, we're going to download these slides. We're going to download this video to the website. So if there's someone that wanted to see it and need to see it, they can check it out there. John had a question. Where do you hope to be before work stops for the winter? West Bridge abutment poured, all beams set. Yeah, right. The abutment will be poured. Then it becomes, is it going to be backfilled with aggregate material, with frozen ground, not frozen ground? We would love to get the beam set. So I guess we will see if that happens or not based on weather. With the rail bridge incomplete, will we be able to get to Vernon Interlaken to the Highway 100 bridge via Arcadia during the winter? Yes, you'll be able to go northbound Arcadia to eastbound Vernon 50th. So you can go to the new intersection. You'll be able to go straight and access the new northbound on-ramps by taking a left-hand turn. You'll be able to go straight to 50th and France, and you'll be able to take a right to get on the southbound Highway 100 entrance ramp. So that's where all the access to Highway 100 is going to occur. So yes, Arcadia will be open northbound to eastbound, and then you'll have those extra movements that you can do off the bridge. Great question. Other questions? Continue to check the website. I just put an update on there. As we kind of monitor the contractors' schedules and weather, we'll continue to let you know when operations will cease for the winter and when they'll demob some of their equipment so we can get that Gus Young back open is the key next step here. Next step here for traffic operations is opening Gus Young Lane. So Vernon from 100 to the rail bridge will be paved, etc. before winter. Yeah, they want to basically draw a line just west of Arcadia in that area. They're going to try to finish everything from there to the east. So all that has to be left is around the bridge, the Vernon Avenue Bridge. The movement that will be similar to what was happening earlier this summer is people taking the exit for southbound 100 will go straight across Vernon and exit onto Arcadia and loop around Hilltop. So there really wasn't a good way to have them take a right on Vernon and then take a left through a median to go southbound on Arcadia. So the access from southbound 100, you'll go straight through, loop up to Arcadia and access the district like was happening for most of the summer. Great question. We want to get as much done this year as possible, whether it's sidewalks and paving and street, and just have that area around the bridge to complete next year. There's another median to fix on Vernon west of the intersection that was used as a transition between east and westbound. They're planning to do that median and get that work done. They're going to pave wear course up to the edge of the intersection at Interlaken. So then anything paved on Vernon to the west would be done. And then they'll do some temporary asphalt paving right next to the curb to protect the curb from snowplow operations this winter, so we don't damage all that. Then they would do the wear course in that intersection, the final top layer next year. There's a question there that I don't understand, so we'll get back to you on that. Whoever JJ is, send a note to me, email or on the website, and we'll talk to our bridge designers and see what that question's about. Other questions, throw in the chat. Will the pavement on Vernon in front of Wells Caribou Tire Place be patched at some point? Lots of potholes. Oh, great question. So this project has project limits. Wherever those limits end, it's going to be new pavement to the east. The county owns and operates Vernon, so they have a pavement maintenance project scheduled in 2027, I believe. So not next year, but the year after. So it'll be one more year of patching. But then they want to go from our construction limits. I think they want to do a mill and overlay through the district out towards the southwest. So if there's currently big potholes and stuff like that, then we would make that request with the county to come in and continue to do their patching operations until they can come and do that pavement maintenance operation in, I believe it is in 27. So good questions. The city did some patching here earlier this summer just because we were up in that area. Other questions? Again, check out the website. We'll post this material. I'm available if people have other questions. They can come visit if there's questions. You have a bigger group you want to share some information with, let me know. We can figure that out. Not seeing any other questions or anybody typing. I think we'll end the meeting now. And again, we'll post it. Go to the website. You have my email, phone call if there's other stuff. Oh, there's one last question here. Jennifer had a question. To clarify, if you're driving south on 100, you will be able to exit again at some point on the 50th. So if you're driving south on 100, yes, that exit ramp will be open mid-November. You'll come up to the new intersection at Vernon next to the new bridge. From there, you could either go straight if you're going to access Devani's, Vernon Shops, Jerry's, and you'll take the little loop behind Hilltop and get on the Arcadia and then use Arcadia or Eden to access those businesses. If you come off that exit and hit Vernon and want to take a left to go to 50th and France, you will be able to go across the new bridge to head towards City Hall or 50th and France. So yes, southbound exit's going to be reopened. Northbound on-ramp's going to be reopened. The new northbound off-ramp is going to be open, so there'll be access there, both northbound and southbound from right around that new High 100 bridge. There's a question. If the meeting is about more than the bridge project, can you update us on city street projects? Yeah, Bridget, if you have a neighborhood group or an apartment group that's interested in some citywide project updates, I definitely visit condos and apartments and neighborhood meetings to talk about not only this project, but bigger city projects. So I would ask you to send me an email or give me a call and we can figure out what your need is and whether it's during the day. You know, I've met over lunchtime or after hours. So you let me know, give me a call, send me a note. And if there's a need, we can figure out whether it's me or maybe questions on different city projects that it might be somebody else. Chowan Park. That'd be me or Aaron. or Ben would be available to do that. So, yep, please reach out separately and we can figure that out, because we do have planned meetings already for that project moving forward. Will the southbound ramp from Eden Avenue onto Highway 100 remain? We have that scheduled to be closed. We just don't have a schedule because this project, we needed that on-ramp. That's one of the highest crash rates in town. All of our traffic studies have stated we don't need that any longer when these new improvements are done. So the plan is to close that southbound on-ramp from Eden Avenue. I don't know whether that'll be 2026 or 2027. Really depends on when this project's over. And we can look at the funding and the impacts that this project has on funding. Will determine when that on-ramp can be closed. Good questions. Thanks for the questions. Now we'll see if that was the last question. So we'll give another minute. Thank everybody for their time. Again, we'll post this information. If you have specific questions you didn't get answered, just reach out. Happy to assist with any comments or concerns you have. All right. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for joining, and let me know if you got additional questions.